All right, we're live. We want to thank everybody for joining us on the live stream as well on the replay. Please hit that bell notification. That way, whenever we go live or we make a new video, you guys get notified. Hit the like comment because it does help with the algorithm and everything. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about the show and everything. We're gonna be covering Monday Night Raw for July 10th, 2023. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank, and let's get into it. As the next chapter unfolded tonight towards SummerSlam, a lot of interesting things happened tonight. You know how you got the Bloodline saga going on SmackDown? Well, we got the Judgment Day saga going on Monday Night Raw,
It's
and
actually pretty good.
it is. It's a shame that they're even doing this to this group. I really like them. The weak link in this group, unfortunately, is Dom, but
Yeah.
people like him in there. I don't like the fact that they
Uh,
are possibly doing a breakup storyline with Balor and Priest.
Balor, yeah.
Again, it sort of it took a turn tonight. It made everybody think that everything is okay, but fasten your seatbelts.
Yeah.
You're in for a bumpy ride. So here we go. Corey Graves, Kevin Patrick, as always, doing the commentary. They were in Buffalo, New York tonight. How do we know that? Well, Seth Rollins came out in the beginning of the night with buffalo wings.
Yeah.
So
That was hilarious.
that boy
That
was
was hilarious.
chowing down,
Yeah.
man. It was
They so nonchalant, like, it's just like, yeah, that's how unbothered he is, and, he doesn't feel threatened at all. He's not
yeah,
the
especially when it comes to
Mhm.
Judgment Day,
Yeah,
because
and
it.
Dom and, Dirty Dom.
Oh, jeez. The night kicked off with Finn Balor coming out by himself, saying how he had unfinished business with Seth Rollins. Um, of course, they showed the outcome of what happened at Money in the Bank between the two of them. Shortly after that, here comes Rhea, Dom, coming out there and
Yep.
whatnot. Rhea told him to go to the back, talk to Priest. You know, not to dirty their, air their dirty laundry in public. She kind of tried, with the muted the microphone and
Yeah.
whatnot. Uh, Rhea was saying that how Judgment Day still runs Monday Night
Mhm.
Raw, allegedly. Um, and it's funny because as Seth is out there and whatnot, Dominic, they wouldn't let him talk because tonight they set up again Seth Rollins versus Dominic Mysterio, but it would take a little detour. Get to that in a little bit. It was funny when Seth Rollins told Mommy that the only one whooping Dom's ass would be him,
That
and
was funny. That was funny with
it
the
is.
thing.
I don't know if I'm over and done with the Seth Rollins Dominic Mysterio matches.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
I
but the
mean,
setup was fine with him coming out and with the
oh
buffalo
yeah,
wings and everything, and then this guy Dom was so mad. He was like, shut the music off, shut them." I'm like, "No, leave it on, man." Like, it
they
was funny. It was good.
they will not let him talk. And
Yeah.
the article that I just read, and I don't know if there will be any truth to it. I don't believe it until it actually gets signed. Next week on Monday Night Raw, Stephen Amell will be at Raw in Atlanta, Georgia. It is rumored, again, just rumored, that Stephen Amell could be talked into working a program with Dominic Mysterio. And of all the people, it kind of makes sense for Mysterio. But again, I'm a realist. Once I see it on paper, signed, sealed, and delivered,
Yeah.
I'll believe it. Otherwise, if you go by the rumor mill, you're just going to drive yourself crazy.
Mhm.
Especially when if you read the program, they recently just announced what Austin's workload would have been like for WrestleMania, and they said that his would-be opponent would have been Roman Reigns. But he said creatively wise, it didn't make any sense. Well, no shit, it didn't make any sense. Him up against Roman doesn't make any sense. But they are talking to Austin as far as working a program at SummerSlam. Could very well be the Grayson Waller effect guest, and then possibly a stunner afterwards. I don't see them doing a match. They would have started that already. But don't be surprised if at WrestleMania 40 you see Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ring once more. But him at SummerSlam, I would like to see that. And again, remember Waller was told last week, sink or swim, and with Edge he said he swam. Well, the next person to put him in the ring with would be Austin, and of course, eventually, I could see him doing a segment with a one-off with the Undertaker, like Taker did with LA
Like,
Knight.
I don't wanna see any of these guys anymore, and I love the classic guys, they're my favorites of all time, but these guys are
You don't want to see them ever come back and
way
do a one-off match.
no, it's let it go already. These guys are too they're all broken down, like, let the new guys it's time to make new stars, enough with this nostalgia stuff, I'm over it. I'm honestly over it. I mean, everybody
I,
not might
I, I
not
get
feel
where
that
you're
way.
coming from.
I'm like, "It's enough."
I mean,
Make new stars, make new
oh,
superstars.
definitely, yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin did look pretty good last year when he did the match with
Yeah, but
Kevin Owens.
it's
Well,
not the same for me, it's I don't know, I just
well, it made
doesn't work
sense
for
for
me,
him to
brother.
do it because it made sense for him to do it because his last match he ever wrestled in the ring was a loss. So obviously, you don't want your career to end on that note.
Yeah, I
So
know, but it's just I don't know, I
me,
just
I don't see the reason for him to go any further and do it, especially when he's in his late 50s. You came
yeah.
back, you had your match
I
at WrestleMania, you won in Dallas. I would leave it there.
I just wanna remember these guys as they were. I don't wanna see them as
You
broken
don't
down
want to see a
shells.
bootleg version
Yeah, I just
like we
don't.
got bootleg Sean because I
Yeah, I
think
don't
Sean
yeah, I
stayed
know.
a couple of years too long before Taker retired
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. Like I said, in the words of
Doesn't
Hulk
work for
Hogan,
you,
it
brother.
doesn't work for me, brother. Yeah, so
You want to see Jeff Jarrett one more time?
I don't want no, God forbid. Oh, God forbid. Thank God he signed with A he's in AEW, right?
Yeah,
He's over
he's
there,
doing
right?
tag team wrestling with them.
Thank God
Not
he's
not like he not like he's helping the ratings at all,
I don't know.
but whatever. In any event, um, before the next match, which was going to be Seth Rollins versus Dominic Mysterio, Judgment Day, they're in the back. Rhea's trying to talk with Damian Priest. They got to resolve this. It almost sounded like she was running a therapy session here, like she's the mediator of the
Yeah.
group.
Well, she's the leader. I would say
Technically, she is.
she's the leader. She is.
If
She's
she's
you could
holding the
tell.
gold, if she's holding the gold, she's
Yeah.
the leader.
She's the leader. She's the leader.
So the unfortunately the Rollins Mysterio match ended in a no contest.
That was
It's
so that was what was the point of that? I don't know if you liked it. I just thought I was like, what was the point of that?
what the run in?
Yeah, the whole run-in, like
Oh, to set up the main event.
yeah, well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I think that but I just felt like they could have just set up the main event either way. Did they really need to do that? I mean, I guess.
No, I don't. I don't think so. I think they could just. Well, you know how it is on Monday Night Raw. They start a match, it ends in
Yeah, it
chaos.
ends in
You get some
chaos
run-ins,
and
and then all of a
right,
sudden
right.
you get a match later on.
Yeah.
But it was what it was. In any event, um, the opening match on the whole card before the Rollins Mysterio match that never happened. It was actually a pretty decent one in my opinion. You had Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle versus
Mhm.
Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, Gunther at ringside. This match was pretty good. Would I have liked to see this be RK Bro versus Imperium? Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the whole time.
I honestly think that could
Fucking
be
okay,
next
bro.
week because remember
I don't know.
McIntyre told Riddle he won't be there at Raw. Riddle's going to face Gunther one on one, and Kaiser and Vinci are barred from ringside. Now, if they do happen to come out, that's when I
You
start
think
thinking
Randy will come out?
maybe Orton returns, but they don't turn him just yet because obviously in his return it will be a match. He'll be working with Matt
Right.
Riddle, but maybe for the time being, I don't know. Is it unlikely? Probably. Am I hoping he comes back? Absolutely, because I've been waiting for this. Because honestly, I thought with him being out with the back surgery, I honestly thought his career was going to come to an end. And all of a sudden, his wife gave the notice on Twitter saying that he's absolutely fine, he's medically cleared, he's good to go. He said he has no intention of retiring anytime soon. He said, according to him, he has too much left to do. I don't know which more what more you need to accomplish, bro, when you've done it all.
More paychecks.
When you have 4 kids, the paychecks
Yeah.
help, especially when the wife says get out.
Yeah.
So, am I hoping he shows up? Yeah, but am I realistic about it? I don't think so. But during this match, was pretty good. Got the Claymore on Vinci, gets the pin while Riddle had the ankle lock on Kaiser. Now this was interesting because you see Gunther was irate about this, and then Kaiser kind of walked off from Vinci. So you got to wonder, is there dissension in the ranks in Imperium? I, for one, hope not, because I really do like this group together. So I hope they'll probably salvage it all together and get back at Riddle next week.
Yeah.
So um, following that, now they showed what happened on SmackDown in the Tribal Court, which was classic. Roman Reigns kneeling down, crying, putting the lay on the floor, and then just the assault that he had out on the Usos, and then what happened later on when Jay came back. This is going to be interesting to see what goes forward. They haven't officially signed the match yet, so I'm assuming that on SmackDown this week they will finally
Right. Yeah.
put the ink to paper and get this done. So, and then they had an interview with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They were wondering what was next. They were interrupted by Rhea and Dom, which when Dom actually said something, Kevin Owens was looking at him like, they allow you to speak?
Right. Yeah. He was
Just,
like,
just a look on his face. She's saying how Judgment Day wants all the titles.
they want all the titles. Yeah.
Good luck with that. So,
Well, dude, don't be surprised if they get them
will they get them before
before the
this finally
breakup.
implodes? I don't know.
Probably not, but
Do they need to finally get the other titles going and split these up already? Absolutely. We already know that the tag titles are probably going to look like the world heavyweight and the women's title.
right.
So
Yeah.
just what are we waiting for?
Just
Split it up, have a tournament on SmackDown, find out who the tag champions are over there, and let's be done with this already. I think the tag title one is just taking way too long.
I agree.
So, like I mentioned earlier with the Seth and Dominic, it ended in a no contest. Why? Because Balor and Priest jumped him on the outside, and then Zayn and Owens came to the rescue. So we have set up in the main event tonight: Rollins, Owens, and Zayn versus Balor, Priest, and Dom, Dirty Dom.
No, Jesus Christ.
So it wasn't too bad. The next segment, man, boy, I really hope he hits him for real at SummerSlam. Ricochet had come out because of this ongoing thing with him and Logan Paul. Logan came to the ring. He called Ricochet a reckless amateur. What are you, a veteran?
Well, Ricochet called him a rookie, which he is.
He is.
Yeah, I mean,
but he's also somebody that's handed everything.
Listen, I don't like neither one of the Paul brothers.
I despise both of them.
But I guess I guess he's generating revenue. People are watching. I guess for him to get the spot that he's in.
I've always said,
and he's athletic as hell. I'll give him that. He's athletic. I just don't care for him.
No, I don't like him. I think he's arrogant. I don't think, and this isn't storyline arrogance.
Right. I
this
know
is
what you're
him.
saying. Right. I've seen interviews with him. I just don't care for the guy. I try when I'm watching this though. I kind of try to separate like what I know of him and his interviews from the
You try to be bipartisan
character. Yeah, like I think he's doing good heel work. I just have to kind of separate. Right, so let's kind of just push what we think about him.
So, do you want me to talk about him as a wrestling fan,
as a wrestler, his character,
his character by far is doing great. The only problem I have with him is he's handed everything.
Yeah.
This character is handed everything. He's handed a title match against Roman Reigns after 2 matches. He's thrown into Money in the Bank without even giving a second thought.
I agree, but it's just he's bringing in the numbers, so
he is talented in the ring. I am going to give him that. I will give him the credit. But when he starts with the arrogance of doing a leg drop on Roman Reigns while holding his phone, while he's doing it,
part of his character, though.
Which character?
He's supposed to piss us off. I mean, he's doing a good job.
Well, I've always said if you're cheering for a wrestler or you're booing a wrestler, they are doing their job.
I really just want to see Ricochet whip his ass. I'm hoping it happens.
I do too. Unfortunately, I think Logan gets the victory.
Yeah, I think he gets the victory. Yeah.
And that's a shame because Ricochet busts his ass in this organization, and he's hardly recognized for his efforts.
He isn't. I agree.
Ever since when he got thrown into a title match against Brock Lesnar, ever since then Vince McMahon had a target on his back that I'm surprised he didn't release him.
Vince doesn't like the small guys, though. You know that. He doesn't like the small guys.
But look what this man could do. Okay, You
I
saw what
know.
he did. You saw what he did to Logan Paul today when he jumped out of the
Yeah,
ring.
well, yeah, it was crazy.
The only other time he ever did that, he did it way better. It was against the Velveteen Dream in NXT quite a few years ago. Obviously, Velveteen Dream's been gone for a while. That was the only other time I seen him do that. But this time he lost his balance a little bit.
Yeah, he did. He kind of like it's still a crazy move to pull that off.
Ricochet is an insane, crazy
Yeah,
wrestler
he's a
in the
great
ring,
athlete. Yeah,
and Vince is stuck in this old era of unless you're 300 pounds and
yeah,
7 foot tall, you can't amount to anything in this business. That's a load of garbage
I agree.
because a guy like Ricochet could
But Vince is
very
not going
well be
anywhere. I
champion.
know. I agree, but he's not
I
anytime
don't know
soon.
who was running the show tonight. I don't
Vince
know
is
if it was
running.
him,
Vince is
if it was
Vince
Pritchard,
has
if it was
final
Page.
say. Vince, I don't know how much is his idea, but he has final say.
I know Khan and Triple H had a closed door meeting with him last week.
Allegedly, or I don't know if they actually
Allegedly,
did. I don't know if
allegedly.
they, yeah, I don't know if they actually did. They were supposed to, because there's conflicting reports. Because the story I heard was that they're scared to say anything to him, that they want to say something to him, or they're supposed to schedule a meeting. But Vince is gonna tell them to kick rocks. They can't do anything.
I know
He's not gonna listen to anybody. Vince is not gonna listen to anybody. He's just not.
because he's stubborn. He's a
Yeah,
stubborn old man,
yeah.
and I have tremendous respect for Vince McMahon.
We're
Believe
gonna
me,
we'll be here forever
I
bashing
know
Vince. Let's
exactly,
just we'll get
but
back to this. We'll get back to this because we're just
but the
even.
fact that he needs
Yeah,
to like step aside and let
yeah, I
somebody
agree.
else with
I don't know.
run the storylines.
I'm gonna get back to bashing Vince when we get to Cody. But
Okay,
let's continue.
fair enough. So anyway, Logan Paul tried to hit Ricochet while he wasn't looking. That didn't go well. Ricochet whooped his butt. So again, it's an unofficial match right now for SummerSlam. But either way, the athleticism between the two of them, we should get a hell of a
Mhm.
show.
Yeah, it'll be entertaining.
And even if it's Vince or Triple H, regardless of who it is, the fact that they're allowing Ricochet to run the program with Logan Paul says a lot. That they have a lot of faith and a lot of
Yeah.
confidence in Ricochet to be able to
Mhm.
go into this match with Logan, because Vince would only have a handful of people deal with him. So following that, they showed what happened last week on Raw with Maxine Dupree getting her first victory. She would be involved in her graduation ceremony tonight, which was just downright hysterical.
The
So the
Macho
next,
Man's theme.
huh?
With the Macho Man's theme.
Yeah, and Corey called that. He goes, "Oh, that was
Yeah.
I thought Randy Savage was here."
Rest in peace.
Um, yes, definitely. The next match on the card, I read right before I watched Monday Night Raw that this match was scrapped, and they wound up doing it anyway because they said that Becky Lynch suffered an injury, and her match with Zoe Stark tonight
Oh,
was not happening.
it was
Well, it could have fooled me because I watched it.
the man.
I don't know who put that article out, but it was definitely wrong. Now, this is obviously the next chapter in the Becky Trish rivalry. Again, Trish needs to wear a shirt going that says "Why am I here?" Because after August 5th, if she's still there, somebody needs to interview her and go, "What are you looking to accomplish at this point
Money.
besides a paycheck?"
That's what it comes down to, man.
I mean, if
At
she's
least she
looking,
still got it though. At least she still
absolutely,
has
yeah,
it.
she did. She really
You
well.
can't
She's not.
you can't.
She's not. 50, 60 years
Yeah,
old.
but dude, she's
She's
47 though,
she's in
right?
her
She's 47?
no, no. She's about 43,
Is she?
44, which I know ain't saying much from 47.
Oh, I thought she was saying. Oh, either
But
way,
she still has it. And
she still
again,
does.
in the wrestling business, if you take care of yourself, eat healthy, work out, and everything. I
Well,
mean,
she's a
wrestling.
fitness freak. I mean, that she comes from that. That's the world she comes from. She was
Yes,
a fitness model,
and
wasn't she,
and
or
I
something like
believe,
that?
yeah, and I
Before,
believe she has a yoga company
yeah, yeah.
or
So
something that she
she's in
does.
tremendous. And she's good on the mic too, but it's
Yeah,
just again, I'm still one of those guys that are like, let the new
you're
generation do
taking
what
a
they
spot
got.
away from somebody
Yeah,
else.
yeah. Come on.
Well, in the
I don't
women's
know.
division, there are 5 women that keep the top spot that is almost hard to get in there. And one of them was replaced. It used to be Charlotte, Sasha, Bailey, Becky, and Asuka. But since Sasha's moved on, I've replaced her with Bianca. So now it's those 5 women that almost makes it impossible
Right.
to move on because they're always in the picture. Reason why is they're extremely talented and they draw the revenue in. You mentioned that about Charlotte last week.
Hmm.
About that's why she's in so many title matches because, believe it or not, she puts the butts in the
She
seats.
moves the needle. Yeah, no doubt
Exactly.
about it.
So um, Trish, I mean, yes, she's taking a spot away right now, but at the same time, if they see something in Zoe Stark and they have her helping her, then I'm all for it.
Yeah,
Me personally, I don't see a whole lot in Zoe Stark, and I didn't
I don't
understand
either.
why she was called up.
I don't see it, and I just
I,
feel like
I don't either. I would have
she's getting overshadowed by Trish.
exactly.
That's
I
the
would
way
have
I look
rathered
at it.
Roxanne Perez or Cora Jade, somebody like that, come up maybe and take the
I
spot,
don't know.
but
Well,
Zoe
that's
Stark, no, and Zoe gets
Vince.
the victory here
Vince,
too.
Triple H, hire us if you're watching.
We will work crazy hours for
Yeah.
you. Well, maybe not. I don't know. You over here pondering for a job.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hey, man, times are tough.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Trish got involved in this, distracting Becky. Had Zoe roll her up for the pin, so it was good. It's a good win in for the the resume of Zoe Stark.
Well,
This,
yeah, Trish helped out. Trish
yeah, I
helped
don't.
out.
Well, a win's a win. Take it
Yeah.
however you want it. But this, obviously is gonna be the next chapter in the Becky Trish saga. So following this, they had the backstage segment with Rollins, Zayn, and Kevin Owens as they're getting ready for their main event tonight. Then we had the graduation ceremony. This was pretty funny. I love Otis just makes me laugh, man.
I'm not a fan.
When they
It wasn't bad though. I was laughing though. I was laughing.
I know you were, especially when he went to put the jacket on. He's over there stripping, and he's
Yeah.
acting like Chris Farley a little bit with the jacket, like
Yeah.
fat man in a little coat.
Yeah.
This was a good, a good thing. Of course, they, instead of they're redoing a gimmick where it was Mandy Rose and Otis. Now it's Maxine Dupree
Yeah.
and Otis. And so, she graduated, got her jacket, and then out come the Viking Raiders. But from behind, Valhalla got Maxine Dupree and stole her jacket. So now this set up a
It was
match
like
next week, a Vikings rules match. You got me.
it was like when
Between
Bret Hart got his jacket stolen by Jean Pierre
Jean-Pierre
Lafitte.
Lafitte,
Yeah.
damn Pirates. Yeah, but he got it back after he whooped him.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a Vikings rules match next week between Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders. Exactly what a Vikings rules match is, you got
We'll
me.
find
Tune
out.
in next week and we'll let you know. So, and now they showed flashback to Money in the Bank in the women's tag team title match about Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, and then what happened last week on Raw with Baszler and Rousey. Rousey gave them a hard out date. I really hope it's August 5th. I really do. I said this last week. I'll say it again. And I will say bye-bye when she loses.
See ya.
Now, our next match was pretty much pointless. If they're trying to show the dominance of Shayna Baszler, well, been there, done that. Shayna Baszler facing Emma. Why is she back? I have no idea.
Who knows?
But Shayna Baszler pretty much in a squash match, putting the Karabuta clutch on Emma and getting her to tap, followed by Ronda Rousey coming out. And now this is what needs to happen at SummerSlam. They as a result of what they did tonight, putting each other's submission move on, it needs to be a submission match
Yeah.
between the two. Either that or some type of Lions Den match.
Well, I don't think we're gonna see that.
What was that match that Rollins and Riddle did last year that Dan Cormier was the referee for? It
I
was
don't
something
remember. I
along the
know.
lines of the Lions Den.
Was it an octagon? Did they do like an? I don't know.
something
UFC's
like
an
something
octagon.
like that. They
I don't
had
remember, man.
they had the balcony type thing above it.
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, I didn't actually see the pay per view, but I remember seeing the highlights.
Something along those
Yeah,
lines is what they need to do here with these two. It can't just
yeah.
be a regular one-on-one match. It needs to be something with a little added thing to it. Now, since they're
No,
both
it makes sense.
in the MMA UFC background, I would think something along those lines would fit for them. This is why you need to hire us, Vince, because we have the ideas. So I think something like that would be good for Baszler to beat Ronda in and
Get
send
Ken
her back in.
Shamrock in there, the referee, but Ken, he's blacklisted, I think, so that's not gonna happen.
That's a shame because at one point I really thought he could have had one more run. He looked good, but now it's just like, stay
Nice.
where you are.
It's
But I mean,
Persona
Daniel
getting started.
Cormier doing it wasn't bad.
DC, yeah.
He looked pretty
And now,
good.
I mean, now they sold the company to what is it?
Yes, it would,
Endeavor's the name of the company, right? So they own UFC and WWE, so there could be some crossover there.
which I'm hoping and praying really never happens because Conor McGregor is foaming at the mouth to do this, and that's one guy you probably don't want in a WWE ring. And I know
I like
his
Conor. He's
biggest opponent will probably be Cena.
Connor's
Yeah,
entertaining. He's too much of a wild card right now.
unstable,
So yeah,
especially in a wrestling ring. You
it's
accidentally hit somebody the wrong way.
I don't even think it's that. It's just him on the mic. You never know what he's gonna say. That's the danger.
Oh, we've had pipe bombs before. What's another one? Come on, we can do it. So, any event, now they showed last week what happened when Cody came out to address Seth Rollins for the title. Got one word in before Brock Lesnar came to grace us with his presence, and so now Cody Rhodes comes out to the ring. Now you can do your Vince bashing.
Yeah, because Cody's been vinced.
Cody has issued the challenge to Brock Lesnar for the rubber match in
Mhm.
this series. And he said, and I quote, he after this is over and done with, he is next in line.
Yeah,
I
yeah, he's
don't think
next in
so.
line.
I don't think it will be.
And next in line for what belt? Which belt? Don't tell me he's
Obvious,
gonna go.
obviously the
He's,
world title because he's on
yeah,
Raw.
right, exactly. And he already hinted at it. Remember, he was before he got Brock Lesnar came out. He was gonna say something to Seth. So that's
He
where
was
they're
going to
going
pretty
with
much
this.
put him next
But
in
he
line.
but he got vinced. He got he got vinced because I
Well,
talked about this last week
we have to end this saga between the two.
with Roman. With Roman, I mean, I just don't like the way. I mean, I guess I have to get over it. But they pivoted. They pivoted to damn Lesnar, man, and that was Vince. I don't have any doubt in my mind that was Vince that did that.
Oh no, because
So
Lesnar is
so
Vince's boy.
so here we are. We're Brock, the rubber match. Brock works part time. That's why he didn't even show up tonight. Cody mentioned it.
He'll be
He
there
didn't.
next week
Yeah,
because he
I
needs a
don't know. I
paycheck.
just don't even care for this
So it's
title.
funny how they can't mention his wife's name.
Oh,
You
Sable.
believe that?
It's about Sable.
Yeah, they can't talk. Edge mentioned it. I saw this online in a few articles after SmackDown last week because Edge mentioned how his first match was at the Garden with Sable, and he mentioned her name against Mero and Jacqueline, and then that is a word that they cannot say. But he didn't get in trouble because it's Edge. But
I
Sable
have to look
is
into
a
that. I don't know why because she, all right, she did sue them, but she got hired after that because she came back.
yeah. She did a second stint in
Right,
2003 with them.
right, yeah. So I don't know, and that's maybe he doesn't want her. It could be that Brock doesn't want her to be mentioned. He doesn't
That
want.
could be the reason too. They
Right,
didn't specify the
right,
reason
right, right.
why, so we automatically assume
It's
that
like Voldemort.
It's Vince.
It's like Voldemort. You can't say that name.
Can't say
It's like
what name?
Macho Man back in the day. Remember, like they like they never mentioned Macho Man's name. Like he didn't
Nope.
exist for a while. For a while,
That's a
you know.
shame.
But,
What,
so
because
yeah,
of the allegation or the
oh,
way
I
he
don't want. I
left?
don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
One of these
Let's
days
let's
we will.
yeah, yeah.
It's all allegations until it's proven, and at this point nobody cares. It's the damage was done. So, but yeah, for whatever reason you can't say Sable's name. So, um, now they showed what they're doing a lot of showing here. We're not seeing many matches, kind of like last week, but they showed what led up to our next match, which is a no disqualification match: Tommaso Ciampa versus The Miz. Now, this match I was looking forward to because I'm a huge Ciampa fan. I loved what he did in NXT. I know he's on this main roster and doing what he's doing because Triple H is there, because he really didn't want to be on the main roster with Vince. And when he came up last year, he was kind of hesitant on doing it. And then by the time H took over, he suffered the injury and was out with the neck fusion.
And now Vince is back.
And yeah,
Shadows.
supposedly, allegedly.
He's the emperor, man.
From time to time, he's the
in the
Sith
background.
Lord.
Yeah, no, he really is. He really is. He's a real life heel.
I'm telling you, he made that character in 1997, and he
No,
stuck
that's
with it.
him. That's him.
It's a shame, and we don't want to wish
Oh well.
ill will on the man. But what's going to keep him out of this?
Mm. I just wanted to see the old Miz come back because they had hinted at that the old Miz was gonna come back, you know. But
Which
the Miz is
version?
well when he was a top guy, when he was a main eventer, you know.
2010.
Yeah, we'll never see that again. So
No,
I like
because
Miz.
he's 42 years old,
Yeah, I
but
know, but I just don't. I don't know. I
he's
like
still a
Miz.
damn good wrestler. He's just not
Yeah,
given the chance.
no, he's just not. So
This was the first time I can't remember in a long time he won a match.
and not by his own doing.
No, Bronson Reed helped him.
Thank
Bron,
nice of
Bron,
Brunson. He
Bron,
wasn't talking to this week. He wasn't doing, you know,
yeah,
these promos.
why they do those vignettes on and promos on him? I have no idea. They don't need to sell the man
Right,
anymore.
right, right, right.
We've seen him in a feud with
Right.
Bobby Lashley. Believe me,
Yeah.
we know what he can do. Just like we didn't earlier, we didn't need to see the vignette on Indus Sheer because Veer Mahan's coming out again. We've already seen these guys. We don't need another vignette to
Mhm.
show us what they can do.
Huh.
Get them in the damn ring and show
Mhm.
us. Don't tell us. But I mean, the Ciampa Miz match was great. Yeah, Bronson Reed broke it up and hit his. Reed hits the tsunami on Ciampa and then Miz pins him with a smile on his face. Probably because Miz has got himself a new insurance policy. But this is going to be a good feud going forward. Will it be a match at SummerSlam? Probably not, because they have so many matches that they want to
Yeah.
put on the
So much
card that a
stuff
lot
is
of
gonna
people are
get.
going to be off, unless
Yeah.
we do night one and night two.
Oh God forbid.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mention that in front of you. I know how you are with night one and night two.
It's just too much, man. It's too much. It's too much.
It is,
3
but
hours, it's like Raw is too much. 3 hours is too much.
I
It's
agree.
it's it's a
But
chore to sit it's a
it,
chore to sit through 3
if
hours.
you're gonna constantly do backstage segments and all this stuff instead of matches, then keep it to 2 hours. Otherwise, when you get it to 2 hours, just focus on the matches.
Right, yeah.
They do too many of these things, and I know you're trying to tell the story and set up for the next pay per view, but sometimes it's just overkill.
Yeah, it's just I agree.
So then they showed, like I said, they showed last week what happened with the tag team turmoil. Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green becoming the number one contenders, and of course, the tag team champions will be at ringside to watch them in their match. But they had their little backstage altercation first. But what I enjoyed is the match that we could get at SummerSlam when she got up in Morgan and Rodriguez's face. I'm talking about Rhea Ripley, and said, "The next time you get up in my face, that's strike three." And of course, Chelsea Green over there, for, getting her sports mixed up.
Mm.
She don't give her a microphone. Chelsea, Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez is going to be the slated match as of right now for the for the women's world title. In my guess, and I can tell you this right now, next week there's the tag title match. I have a feeling that this is where they lose it at the hands of Ripley, and Ripley and Rodriguez will be announced for SummerSlam. That
More
I'm
like, yeah.
calling it. I'm
That sounds
calling it
about right.
now. So while Morgan and Rodriguez were at ringside, Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green took on Caden Carter and Katana Chance. And even though I don't like the fact that Deville and Green won this match, I understand they need the momentum going forward into their match next week. I'm a huge Carter and Chance fan too. I really love the athleticism they have. And if anybody is going to save the tag team division, it's a team like them.
Oh yeah. I like Chance.
I
Is
think
she from New York? She's from New York?
yeah, I think so.
I think she's from the Northeast. I'm pretty
We
sure.
can always tell when we find
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I think she is.
She kind of has an accent a little bit from the
I think she's from the
eastern
yeah.
seaboard.
I'd have to look it up, but
So, and I mean, the way this match ended was cheesy. Green goes for a crucifix pin that she barely has her shoulder down anyway, and of course Sonya Deville helping her with the foot on the rope. Even before that, Chelsea Green botched a sunset flip. This girl, did anybody teach her how to wrestle? Has Zack Ryder ever taught her in the ring? Maybe a few moves, because honestly,
what's the
she
name? Probably
she
what's the name?
sucks.
Probably trained there. What's the name? The girl that went to AEW. What the hell's this girl's name? That
Which
she got
one?
the one that they made a movie out of. The
Oh,
Rock
Soraya
produced it. Was that
Page.
what was it? Paige, yeah. Paige
Page,
was like
yeah.
she was the botch queen, right? Wasn't she the botch queen?
Uh huh. But when you were like want to win the ADW, I was like, well, which one? We
Oh, yeah,
have
which
Ember
one?
Moon, we have Ruby Riot,
No.
Tony Storm, Paige.
I saw a picture today on Facebook. It was of the old what was that show that they used to have on Fox? It was the wrestling show that CM Punk was. It was under WWE, but it was a Fox produced show. That's why they were able to get CM Punk. Forget the
Oh,
name.
it's on Fox Sports One.
Yeah. Was it WWE? It
Talking
wasn't.
Smack or something
I think
like
that's
that.
what it was. Anyway, they
Yeah,
showed a picture of the cast like at one point, and it was you look at the picture, it's like all eight everybody's in AEW now.
yeah.
Everybody in that picture is in AEW. It was
Mhm.
hilarious.
That was the closest WWE ever got to bringing CM Punk
CM
back.
Punk, yeah. I thought it was
I
gonna happen.
I really thought so
I read
too.
that it was. I read it was, but something happened with I
They
think
they
something happened
they
with Triple
they,
H.
they met, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there was a
CM
meeting
Punk
and
thought
then
he was being made a fool of, or he was being jerked around in the meeting. That's
and then
his version
Fox
of it.
and yeah, and then Fox was willing to pick up the tab
Yes.
because they
Mhm.
really
They
wanted
really
him.
wanted him.
But then I guess Vince or whoever was like, "Oh no, 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 no." Like they were willing to pay the difference. Like
Yeah,
whatever the number was, Fox said, "We'll pay the difference." Like whatever if you're willing to pay him 2 million, for example, and he wants 5, we will pay the 3 million.
exactly, yeah.
And they said no, that
But
doesn't
he
work for me,
said in
brother.
his meeting with
Uh,
Triple H, he said it went well, but he felt that he was being jerked around.
Well, we see the disaster that he is in AEW. So, as much as I liked CM Punk, I gotta believe that he's a problem. That he
Look,
that
I'm gonna say this now. Anybody that thinks AEW is better than WWE, you're living in a sad reality because if you add up both of their shows in 1 week,
yeah, but
it
okay,
doesn't even compare to Monday Night
but
Raw. They
that's not fair. It's not fair because they've only
The
been
fact that they
around.
can't draw 1,000,000
Yeah,
fans
it's not
with
fair
the
because
roster they have,
it's not about that. They're not established. The WWE has a 40, 50 year head start
they've
on
been
them.
around 4 years. I mean,
These guys got a 40, 50 year head start on them. Let's be
I
honest.
understand,
They have the market cornered. It's like comparing UFC to Bellator.
but there's a lot
So,
of people out there that say AEW is far more superior
I
than
don't watch
than
AEW, so I can't really tell you, but
anytime I've
just
ever watched it, it felt scattered, chaotic. Um,
oh
it
yeah.
just it didn't. If you watch Raw and then you watch that,
Yeah.
Raw seems like sometimes it runs
I'm
like a well-oiled machine, whereas
well,
AEW is just it was just constantly chaotic.
I know
Plus,
what
it
you're
was one of those times that
saying.
Tony Khan had a major
I'm
announcement.
rooting for them. I'm still rooting for them because I like to see the competition because I think it helps.
Definitely,
I think if there's
because
competition, WWE will only
Vince
get
shouldn't
better.
have a monopoly, and by all means,
Right,
let
and
the competition
you need
come.
competition because that's why wrestling was so good in the '90s was
Mhm.
because you had WCW and it was like everybody's trying to outdo each other.
Exactly.
But I don't know.
And
But I digress.
Tony Khan can thank you that can thank Vince for his roster because of all the roster cuts he made over the last few years.
I like Tony Khan. I know you don't like the guy. I like him.
He's a mark.
I like him. He is, but
Uh,
at least he's a fan. At least he's a fan. So
anyway, moving on. We can spend a whole day
yeah.
on. We can actually do a show on who's better. And honestly, maybe we should do a live show on WWE versus AEW and let everybody chime in and give their opinions on it. Because, like I said, I've seen so many people with that they think that they are just phenomenal,
Um,
and they're nowhere close. They're gonna get there if they do the right, if they stay on the right path and do the right stuff, but they're not there now. So, any event, our main event for the evening is Seth Rollins teaming with the world undisputed tag team champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to face Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
oh Jesus Christ.
Now, this match was pretty cool.
No, it was good.
I like the fact, especially when Priest almost runs into Balor, and you like, oh,
He
here we
caught him.
go
He
again.
caught himself, but then what
He
was it
stared
Seth
him
that hit
down
him?
too. Yeah,
Yeah, and he bumped into him and he fell off the apron.
yeah,
But then Owens, what happened? Owens and Sammy, they like laid out, right?
yeah.
They were gone
As
from the match for
always,
like how long?
they're used to that, man.
It was
That
like Seth
happens.
fighting by himself. Like these guys are worthless. Seth is
Yep.
out there fighting by himself for his life.
And poor Sammy, Rhea grabs Sammy's leg. Not only does Priest do South of Heaven on him, but then Balor with the coup de grace, and then
Yeah.
they pin Sammy. And the one good thing that we saw, and this is just the next chapter in this ongoing soap opera between these two guys, is they shook hands, smiling like everything is copacetic. We know it's not because all right,
No, but remember
earlier in the
backstage. Yeah, earlier. Go ahead.
earlier in the evening
Go
when
ahead.
they finally said, "Let's start
Yeah,
over,"
yeah,
and they were like, "I still have unfinished business with Seth," and he's like, "Good, go for it." And
yeah. Right.
he holds up the Money in the Bank. He goes,
Yeah.
"Either way, it'll be
It'll
the
be taken
title will
care
be
of,
his."
right? Or something like that.
Yeah,
It'll,
it'll be taken care
and
of.
then like he looked Finn looked at him like, well, what is that supposed to mean?
Exactly.
Right? So it's already there. He's Senor Money
Senor.
in the Bank, not Mr. Money. He was introduced as Mr. Money in the Bank, but he's Senor.
So
You
it looks like Finn's going to be the second leader, booted out of Judgment
Yeah.
Day.
See,
Damian Priest will take over, and
it's like a
supposedly
mutiny. I wouldn't want to be part of that group, man. There's always some sort of like mutiny
somebody's
that
always
happens, right?
out.
Yeah.
JD McDonough looks like he might be the one coming in. Um, supposedly, I don't know,
It's
but
a good storyline though. I do like this
each
storyline.
brand has their own faction with their
Mhm,
own issues,
mhm, yeah.
but it's pretty good. It's Raw's getting there. They're getting back to where they
It
were.
was I thought it was pretty decent. I think it was, I guess it was better than last week,
It was.
right? Which I guess is not saying much,
Brock wasn't there, so
but
that's always a plus.
oh Jesus Christ.
As long as
Oh,
we
he's
don't
back next.
hear,
He's back next week. So
as long as we don't hear no chance in hell, and we don't see Vince come out with a golden egg or
oh
some
God,
nonsense like
that's
that.
that's when I shut the TV off, and then sorry.
That's when we go live and wing it.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys let us know what you think about the show. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.
Take care.